I'm over 40, I'm a white belt in Jiu-Jitsu, and I'm on TRT. To some, that may sound like a cheat code, but to me, some days it's honestly the only reason I can drag myself onto the mat. And today I want to talk honestly about just that. The stigma behind Jiu-Jitsu and TRT, why sometimes the scale lies to you, and honestly, the hardest part of this whole journey for me right now, it's not the training. We're talking food noise, the cravings, the mental battle, that constant tug of war in your mind where you just want to eat something, it's there, you're a grazer if you're like me, if it's anywhere in your general vicinity, you're gonna want to grab it, you're gonna snack on it, and you're just gonna overdo it. So no fake transformation, no 30 days to the best shredded shape of your life, no Beachbody 101, nothing like that. Just the truth about trying to improve yourself after 40 and that reality of your body and your brain feeling like they're constantly at war with each other. So let's address the elephant in the room. I get comments all the time about being on TRT, talking about how I'm on steroids, I'm very strong, and I am naturally very strong, and that's just the reality of it. All TRT has done is just, optimize that. Some people have gone so far as to say that that's cheating, that that's a form of performance enhancement, if you want to go there. And honestly, I get it. I get where that's coming from. I totally understand why people would feel that way. Because testosterone actually does improve performance. Recovery, strength, energy, drive, motivation, etc. The list goes on. Of course it matters. Of course it makes a difference. But there is a massive difference between blasting gear that you bought off some shady site or some backroom gym somewhere trying to become some roided out mutant and trying to treat clinically low testosterone so that you can be in a healthy optimal range to just feel normal. Okay, personally, I'm not hiding what I do. Everything I do is under a close supervision of a medical professional, a doctor, a clinic that I go to. This isn't me trying to become some superhero. This is just me trying to function like a normal, healthy, optimal male. I think a lot of men over 40 kind of quietly struggle with this. You just feel exhausted all the time, recovery sucks, your motivation drops, your drive drops, all of that just tanks, and you train one hard day and then you've got to recover for 3 or 4 days because it's just too much on your body, it's too much on your joints, it's too much on your muscles, it's too much on your back. It's just a difficult thing to do all the way around. And eventually you just start wondering, is this just part of aging? Like, is this just how I'm going to feel from now on? Or is something actually wrong with me? For me, TRT did not suddenly turn me into Gordon Ryan. As much as I would love that, that's just not the reality of it. What it did do, though, is it helped me to stop feeling completely drained all the time. One thing that's been really interesting since my last TRT video is the amount of people that assume that the scale tells the whole story. I'm going to be honest with you. The scale can be deceiving because my body weight hasn't changed dramatically. If I just obsessed over one number, one piece of data in the whole picture, I would for sure just assume that I was failing miserably. But my body composition is changing. My shirts, they fit a lot better. My pants fit a lot better. I've actually gone down a size in gi and rash guard. I've gone down a size in shirts and pants. I was at, over 40s, 42, 44 in pants. I'm now at like 36, depending on the cut, the brand of them. That's a pretty big improvement. That's a pretty dramatic improvement by itself. So just because the scale hasn't changed doesn't mean that things aren't changing. Things are changing. Okay, recovery is better, sleep is better. I just generally move better. And those are the things that matter. Those are the things that actually make a difference in your life as a whole. How do you feel? How do you function? How are you functioning day to day? Yeah, it'd be nice to have a six-pack. It'd be nice to be ripped and shredded, but that's not my goal. My goal is to just feel better. And that matters a whole lot more than one random piece of data in the bigger picture, like I said. Especially in jiu-jitsu. Nobody's gonna care what you weigh if you just gas out in 2 minutes and your joints are hurting constantly and you just feel like garbage all the time. And I think that's something that a lot of guys over 40 need to hear, that sometimes change, like real change, doesn't happen like dramatically. It's not this big massive thing that happens that everybody can see. Sometimes it's the stuff you don't see. Sometimes it's the stuff that nobody's ever going to see, but it's true and you can feel it and you can testify and say, yes, this has changed my life. I might not look like Gordon Ryan, but man, I feel great. Sometimes change is slow. Sometimes change, it feels like you're moving at a snail's pace. It's more boring. It's less Instagram worthy, but it's still progress. Now, I want to talk about the part that's honestly been the hardest thing for me through this whole journey. Food noise. And if you know what that is, you know, and you get it. It's that constant mental chatter around food. It's the cravings. It's the bargaining. It's, I trained today. I deserve this. I feel good today. I did really good today. You know what? What's one treat? What's two? What's three? And it just snowballs. I can start over tomorrow. I've already eaten half the bag anyway. It's fine. I'll just finish the bag off and then I won't have it anymore so I can start fresh tomorrow. That's real. That's a legitimate thing. That happens to people. It happens to me all the time. It is exhausting. And believe it or not, I do read the comments. And there's a lot of people that have said, man, you need to lose weight. You're overweight. You're clinically obese, etc., etc. And you know what? You're right. I am still overweight. I still have a ton of work to do. But I think social media has created this illusion that transformation is supposed to happen instantly. And if it doesn't happen instantly, it's not real. Some people have had a long history of food addiction, have had a long history of just struggling with being overweight and struggling with that in general. And it's a long, hard road pushing the boulder up the hill. I mean, it is so exhausting, and it can be very overwhelming. This is midlife grind. This is the long game. This is showing up tired. This is training anyway. This is getting back on after a couple of bad weekends. This is learning discipline slowly. This is fighting the mental battle with food every single day. That is the real grind. So, is TRT a cheat code for jiu-jitsu after 40? Maybe for some people, but for me, it's more about longevity. It's about recovery. It's about being able to train consistently without being destroyed and feeling terrible after a week. And no, TRT did not magically fix my discipline. It didn't magically eliminate food cravings. It did not replace hard work. All it did was help me feel capable of fighting the battle again. Honestly, I'd love to hear from you guys. If you've struggled with food noise, late night cravings, binge eating, emotional eating, the whole list, if you've struggled with that, I would love to hear from you. Like, what has actually helped you? Drop it in the comments, because I know I'm not the only guy over 40 that struggles with this. Until next time, gentlemen, keep grinding. See you on the mat.